All right, I'm gonna be pulling out of my favorite gas station. I mean, I love the 85, but I'm not gonna lie, it is gonna get kind of annoying going ahead and having to fill up at the same station over and over and over again. You do get some significant gains, especially, you know, on this platform when you have a header and 85, but I really wish they had some more stations around me, because that would make, you know, this whole process a little bit, I guess, less annoying. But you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. But for this video, we're gonna be focusing on why I'm gonna be getting a turbo over a supercharger. You guys could probably, you know, understand why I'm saying, you know, a turbo over a supercharger now after, you know, checking out the last couple vids. I'm sold on the turbo. Now, I was on this fence of a supercharger or a turbo, and you know, I gave myself, you know, roughly 2 months to kind of decide what I want. Now, still have roughly a month left of pretty much me deciding what I want to get before I'm actually gonna go ahead and full send it and boost the car. But I think I'm gonna be solely sold on the turbo. And the reason why I'm gonna be solely sold on the turbo is because there's actually gonna be a little bit more room to improve with a turbo if I want to do that over a supercharger. Now, the turbo system that I'm gonna be going with is actually gonna be the JDL unequal length turbo. Pretty much gonna be kind of a similar setup, well, not really a similar setup to the supercharger system I was gonna go with, because I was gonna go with a Sprintex supercharger system, but the JDL unequal length system allows you to kind of have a custom turbo build. You can kind of build it for exactly how you want to have the car set up for your own personal needs. Now, obviously, since I'm not really going to be quote-unquote dailying the car, I don't really have to go ahead and keep that in mind when, you know, building a turbo system. But at the same time, I do not want to go ahead and Ferrari season. I do not want to go ahead and, you know, put the car in a position to where I'm going to be having to build up the head very quickly to kind of, you know, maintain and support the power that, you know, I potentially could be putting out. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is because realistically, I kind of want to still keep the nature of the FRS. I don't want to, you know, completely transform this car into something that it's not, because at the end of the day, I mean, this is a lightweight, you know, quote-unquote low horsepower vehicle, and obviously having something, you know, like 600 horsepower, 500 horsepower on this platform, that could get a little bit dangerous. It's also incredibly costly. Like, the amount of money you'd have to spend to pretty much support that type of horsepower, I'm not gonna lie, I could just go ahead and get a car. I could actually get my dream car for that amount of money. So I mean, there's really no reason for me to go ahead and do that, because if I did think about doing that, I mean, why would I not just go ahead and get my dream car at that point? Which I'm not going to be saying what it is as of yet, because, you know, when we get to that point, we will be making a video on that. But as of right now, I want to push out around 330 to 350 horsepower, and I know I can do that with the JDL turbo system. I can do that with flex fuel, obviously running 85, and I can do that with running a bigger fuel pump. And honestly, I'm gonna be okay and happy with that as of right now. Now, obviously, not to jinx myself, because, you know, when you start going for power, you start wanting more power, you're gonna want more and more and more. It's like having it's like a drug. Like, I guess, like, this crunch for power is like a drug. So I don't want to jinx myself now, but as of right now, for this platform, that's the amount of power that, you know, I'm looking to gain with the system that I'm gonna be going for. And, you know, if, you know, the power bug does hit me, like the mod bug hit me, you know, last year, hit me a couple months ago. I mean, it comes in waves for me. If that power bug does hit me, I'm gonna have more room to improve with a turbo system than I would be, you know, with a supercharger. And honestly, you know, looking at reviews, you know, watching other videos, looking at, you know, just honestly races, even though, you know, racing with an FRS, you know, really isn't something you should be doing anyway. But, you know, out of curiosity, looking at those videos, it is interesting to see the type of cars you can, you know, hang with and the type of cars you can beat. you know, with a turbo system over a supercharger. And that honestly did raise, you know, an alarm, like, okay, well, since I can do this if I want to do this, and really, you know, step up the car and put it to a, you know, position to where, you know, I'm pushing over 400 horsepower, potentially 5, maybe even 6, I could do that with a turbo system. But let me know, like, down in the comment section right now, for those of you who have, you know, boosted FRSs, 86s, BRZs, you know, if you could do one or the other, which one would you do? And for those of you who have the turbo system, or any turbo for that matter, would you go to a supercharger? And for those of you who've had a supercharger, would you go to a turbo? Because I know a lot of people, believe it or not, I've been reading this, you know, in YouTube comments, I've been reading this on, you know, forums and whatnot. A lot of people that have superchargers on these cars, specifically the Edelbrock and the Jackson Racing supercharger, they all say if they could do it over again, they would go ahead and put a turbo system on the car, whether that be an HKS, a Greddy, or the JDL unequal length turbo system. So I'm really, that kind of just, you know, brought an alarm to me that if people are saying that if they were to do it again, they'd get a turbo, obviously, you know, that's going to raise an alarm, because, you know, putting a turbo on your car, that is a considerable amount of money. And, you know, for that amount of money, you kind of want to get, you know, exactly what you're looking for, or at least damn near close to it, because the worst thing you can do is drop, you know, 3-4K, you know, on a car, you know, and supporting mods and obviously a turbo system, and then once everything's done, you know, you're unsatisfied and you're like, damn, you know, now I'm gonna sell it and, you know, go for something, you know, else. I don't want that to happen. And honestly, for everybody who has turbos, I have not seen that happen once. The only time I've seen that happen is for guys that, you know, buy turbos and they, you know, the power bug hits them and they want to get something more powerful, so they go ahead and, you know, end up building the block, or maybe even going ahead and, you know, swapping the block entirely, which, like I said, $20,000. Unless I have $20,000 just to just shit out on just this car, I might as well go ahead and drop $20,000 and get my dream car and be really fucking happy, and honestly not even complain about, you know, how much power this is pushing, and I would just, you know, start, you know, putting money into my dream car. But yet again, I'm not gonna go ahead and spoil what that is. I know some of you guys who follow me on my on Twitter knows exactly, you know, my dream car. And man, when we do get that car, damn, there's gonna be a lot of content on the channel. It's gonna be a little bit different, actually, not even a little bit. It's gonna be a lot different than what we see right now. But I just can't wait for that to happen. But like I said, 20K throwing into this car, I'm putting that in this, you know, I'm putting that into something else. There's no way I would go ahead and do that. But I want to kind of make an update video on, you know, what I want to do, because I want to keep you guys in the loop on, you know, this whole process. I want to document everything, because it is very important, not only for me to do this, but to kind of keep myself on track on what I want to do, because things like this, you kind of need to have a plan, especially when you're going ahead. And I kind of threw my car into fifth gear in an accident. You kind of need to have a plan of attack when you're going ahead and, you know, starting out with forced induction. And for those of people who, you know, those of you who don't have a plan with forced induction and you just do it, I mean, I've seen, you know, bad results, and things that, you know, shouldn't happen. Also, quick update, I did actually go ahead and swap out the overpipe on my car. I am now running a Burke overpipe instead of the stock overpipe. The reason being is because I wanted a little bit more airflow. I'm slowly going ahead and going back to full bolt-on. I was full bolt-on, and I took off the mid-pipe because the car was way too loud. But, you know, we're slowly getting back to it. Honestly, I don't even think I'm going to actually go full bolt-on before I actually go ahead and get the turbo. I might just get the turbo and then do a full bolt-on. That might seem a little bit backwards, but realistically, right now, I kind of have to research on, you know, what front pipe I do want to put on the car. I might just go with just a single resonated front pipe, because my Catback does not have a resonator at all. It only has like kind of like 2 small mufflers, and there is, you know, a little bit of drone, you know, in the higher RPMs and in the lower RPMs. So I kind of don't want to make the car too loud. I know that might seem a little bit strange, but, you know, having the car being ridiculously loud, just cruising around, especially where I'm at, really isn't that good of an idea, especially now. I don't want to draw too much attention to myself, because the cops are they're kind of coming after people now. They're bringing tow trucks to meets. You know, they're getting motherfuckers now, and I don't, you know, obviously I don't want to get got, so we're gonna have to play it a little bit smarter. But yeah, like I said, I just want to make a quick update video on, you know, everything I'm doing with the car. So if you guys did enjoy, make sure you guys absolutely smash like button the video, subscribe to the channel, also turn on those post notifications, man. So you guys are staying up to date and staying in the loop, you know, when I'm going ahead and, you know, upgrading, making modifications, and, you know, when we finally go ahead and go for forced induction. The ETA, the plan is to have the car boosted no later than, I want to say, July 15th. I want to get it boosted during my birthday month because I kind of want to have some time for revision before it gets kind of cold, because I don't want to, like I said, there's a lot of things, you know, going on in the back end of things. I don't want to spoil anything, but, you know, there could be a massive, and I really mean a massive change in scenery, if you guys know what I mean. Like I said, I don't want to spoil anything, but there could be a massive change in scenery within the next couple of months. So we'll see, and if that does happen, which, you know, I'm pretty sure, I'm like 75% sure it is going to happen, you know, we're going to be having a lot, and I mean a lot, more content, you know, on this channel, especially during the winter months, if you guys kind of catch my drift. Kind of just want to do a cruise, you know, just to talk, but yeah, we'll catch you guys in the next video. Deuces.